My name is Damien van der Merwe, and I'm building a media company to help founders and businesses build a strong online presence through creating authentic and cinematic content that helps build their brand. If you're a business or a founder or just someone trying to make an impact online, this might be the difference between being unforgettable or simply just getting lost in the noise of content. I've worked with a lot of brands and a lot of other businesses, as well as experimented with myself. And one thing is clear, we are not in a content is optional era anymore. We are moving into a digital first world. And if your business or your company or yourself, if you are not acting like a media company, you might be falling behind. Most businesses are still operating like it's 2003, using flyers, paid ads, and the occasional post every now and then when they remember to. But here's the truth. No content means there's no connection, and no connection means there'll be no conversions. You're relying on outdated marketing methods that are expensive, gets tired really quickly, and simply just doesn't scale in today's world. Here's the thing, people don't just buy from you because you exist. They buy from you because they trust you. And trust doesn't come from some Facebook ad with like bold text and some fancy discount code. Trust comes from being present, from showing up online daily, with you sharing your vision, your voice, and your values with your audience consistently. And I say this as someone who has learned it the hard way. About a year ago, when I first started dabbling in media production, I ran a Facebook ad to build a bit of awareness around the services that I was offering and to gain some early momentum. And to be honest, it worked a little too well. Within a matter of days, I had landed about 10 clients. However, I had no clear strategy, I had no defined target audience, and because of this, I was just taking on anyone and everyone. This made me realize that fast growth without direction can quickly lead to chaos. I was stretched thin, I was overwhelmed, and I was working with people that just didn't align with what I wanted to build. I believe that if I had led with trust-building content first, and if I had clearly spoken to the people that I wanted to work with, I would have avoided a whole lot of stress and a whole lot of burnout. That's when it really clicked for me, that content isn't just marketing, it's a filtering system, it's a magnet, and it's a signal to the right people to work with you. But what exactly does it mean to run your business like a media company? I'm not saying that you should become an influencer, but what it does mean is that you should own your story. The founders who win in today's world don't just sell, they show. They don't hide behind fancy products or logos. They lead with who they are. A media company builds a brand that moves people. Think of people like James Smith, who is raw, unfiltered, but he's real. Alex and Layla Humosi, who provide relentless value with clarity. And whether you love or hate it, Kylie Jenner, who is a brand with moments. These people all understand one thing that most people miss. Media is the multiplier, and they don't create content for content's sake. They're building movements. Why does any of this matter anyway? Because content is your digital sales team that works for you 24/7. While you're sleeping or working out or spending time with your family, your content is introducing you to new people. It's building familiarity, and it's building an emotional connection with your audience. This builds trust long before anybody sees the checkout page. This is trust at scale. And when you're constantly creating meaningful content and you're constantly putting yourself out there, you no longer become a stranger to your audience. You become top of mind. And over time, that compounds. That is the long-term leverage. That is the long-term game that we are playing. It's not about going viral. It's about becoming unforgettable. And in a world where everybody is chasing content, the ones who build trust are the ones that win. I saw this play out firsthand when I ran my barbershop. At first, I was doing what most small business owners do. I was relying on word of mouth and I was posting random content just to stay active online. But none of it was really intentional and none of it really meant anything or shared anything valuable. It was honestly just there to fill my grid and to show people that I was active and open. However, the moment that I shifted my focus and started treating content as a tool to build my business, that's when everything changed. I went from posting scattered random posts and images online to creating cinematic and authentic content that shared a story. It shared my beliefs and it shared what we were about, and it shared valuable insights that meant something to my audience. And before long, my books were full. A lot of people thought that I'd ran a barbershop, but the reality was I had shifted to a media company that sold haircuts on the side. And it worked because content that means something, content that connects with people, always wins over content that just exists. And if this is all a little bit overwhelming and you don't know where to start, here's the good news. You don't need some fancy setup or a 5-person production team. All you need is a system that works for you. Start small. Make a habit of posting at least one piece of valuable content every week. This could be a point of view post where you share your insights or your beliefs. This could be a behind the scenes video, or even just a clip of you sharing your mission and purpose. Anything that shows and tells your audience, this is who we are, this is what we believe, and this is why we exist. In 30 seconds, you can build trust with your audience just by being honest, clear, and real. You don't need to sound like anyone else. You just need to be you. And this is exactly what I help founders and brands build. Not some throwaway or disposable content or trend chasing shit, but cinematic and emotional content that's authentic to you and makes your audience feel something. I take care of all the planning, the filming, and the editing so that you don't have to worry about what to film or how to look good doing it. I make sure that you don't lose your voice and that you don't lose your edge, but instead you amplify it. Because when other people see your vision brought to life, they believe it more deeply too. So, if you're a founder who is serious about building trust with your audience, becoming visible online, and creating content that actually means something, start thinking like a media company. And if you want help on how to bring that to life, don't be afraid to reach out. I'd love to show you how we can work together.